In this video, we're going to show you to install the upper cam bolts on your Hummer H3 located in your upper control arms. With the vehicle raised and supported, I'm going to go ahead and remove our center cap. You can use a flathead screwdriver or a trim tool, and you're going to come in right behind here and gently pry out and pop that off. Using a 19mm socket, I'm going to go ahead and loosen and remove our lug nuts. Go ahead and grab that wheel, remove it, and set it aside. On the upper control arm here, let's go ahead and release our ABS wire. Just going to use a small pocket screwdriver and release the lock on this side and pull the wire out. Over here we have a 10mm bolt. Use your 10mm socket, loosen and remove this bolt. Pull that off. Down below, we're going to release this portion of the ABS wire too, and lift up in that little lock tab. Now we have our pinch bolt right here. It's an 18mm bolt with an 18mm nut on the other side. Here's a ratchet and a wrench. I'm going to be reusing that, so set that aside. Now I want to go ahead and tap this bolt out. I'm going to use our hammer. If you need to, you can use a punch to go ahead and tap this out. Now sometimes the control arm will pop right out of the knuckle, and then this is going to come forward, so you want to be careful of that. You want to be ready for it. Sometimes the ball joint will stick in here and we'll have to separate that using a hammer. But we're going to use our punch to go ahead and tap that bolt out. Use our hammer, go ahead and tap this out. Now, sometimes you can remove the bolts with the ball joint attached, but this can be kind of aggravating because the knuckle might kind of want to pull away, and then you have to kind of manhandle all of this heavy equipment here to push it back up into place. Just remove this here, and all you have to deal with is a nice light aluminum control arm to just kind of pop it into place. So this is a time saver by doing this, even though you have to remove the bolt. Now we have adjustable cam bolts here, and this is for alignment purposes. Now we'll go ahead and remove this here. We want to go ahead and put this back as close as possible so you have a preliminary setting for your alignment. After this job is performed, you do need to have an alignment professionally done to prevent abnormal tire wear as well as component wear. So I'm going to go ahead and take a crayon, and I'm going to mark this where this is basically at. It's not perfect, but at least it's going to give us an idea. Then we're going to go right to the end, and then we're going to do the same on the back. Now our upper control arm is held in by two 21mm nuts and bolts, horizontally here and then one on the back. I'm going to go ahead and put a wrench on the bolt side and put my ratchet on the nut side here. All right, let's go ahead and repeat this process for the back one. Here we go. Now you want to go ahead and remove our bolts. Now I want to go ahead and be sure that you secure your whole knuckle assembly, otherwise it's going to pull out and it's going to put undue pressure on the CV axle as well. So use a securing strap and just find some way to secure this. Keep it from falling away. Now our hardware is rusted in place here, so we're going to use an air chisel to go ahead and pop out our keys. Let's go ahead and work this off. I'm going to go ahead and pull that bolt out. Now we have our back bolt loose. The cam is frozen to the bolt itself. So you might have to kind of manipulate the control arm to get clearance on the back side here. Push that control arm further back. Go ahead and pop off that back cam. That's always ideal if you can go ahead and clean up the area that you're working. You can go ahead and use a bristle brush and clean up where the control arm and the cam bolts are going to go. Now if you did go ahead and mark the outer plates here, be careful not to erase those. Now after you've cleaned everything up, go ahead and line up your control arm. Make sure you position your ABS sensor where it's supposed to go and work this into place. I'm going to go ahead and put some anti-seize compound on our bolt. Work this around the back side here. Take your cam bolt. Insert that, and let's feed that through the control arm. I'm going to apply some more anti-seize compound out here. Install our outer cam unit and then get that bolt started. I'm going to repeat this process for the front. Now on the front side here, we put our cam on there because we have more room between the front shock. To go ahead and do this, I feed this up behind the brake hose. Put the anti-seize compound there. Install your cam. And at this point here, we're going to go ahead and do a preliminary setting of our alignment, or at least the cam position. Now, because the cams interlock into the bolt itself, the only way to adjust this is to go ahead and put a wrench on the bolt side, and you're going to go ahead and rotate that. Now, remember where we put our marks before? We want to go ahead and rotate these so that we can get these cams up to where they were before. Now my cam is pretty much where it was set before, and we're just going to gently snug this. We're not making it tight. We just want it to kind of hold itself there. And that's it. That's not going to go anywhere. Now let's go ahead and do the same for the back. We have to go ahead and line up our rear cam. Okay, right about there is where we had the original one. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and release our securing strap on our knuckle. Make sure that your brake lines are where they need to be positioned. Once you have that knuckle lined up, go ahead and tap the ball joint in. Now I'm using a rubber mallet or a dead blow. You don't want to be using a giant steel hammer smashing the ball joint. Install your pinch bolt. And go ahead and get that nut started over there. Let's go ahead and snug down that pinch bolt. Torque down the upper ball joint to 52 foot-pounds. Now our next step is we're going to go ahead and use our pole jack. In your case there, you're probably going to use your jack, and you're going to put it underneath the outer portion of the control arm, and we're going to jack up the vehicle until the vehicle just starts to come off of your support stands. What we're going to do, this is going to put the vehicle into a neutral ride height, meaning if we had the wheel on here and we lowered the car down, it would compress our suspension to a neutral ride height. Now, if we don't do that and we tighten everything where it is, it's going to be stiff in its downward position, and it's going to give you a harsh ride, and it's going to prematurely wear the control arm bushings. It's not what you want. So go ahead and raise up that vehicle until the vehicle just starts to come off of your stands. Now we put our wrench on the bolt side because we need to keep those cams locked in that position, and we're going to torque down the nut to 114 foot-pounds. And we just have to take up the slack in that nut right there. Now it's going to get to a point where that cam bolt shouldn't move. We can probably remove that wrench. Now remember, we had already set our cams to where we had marked it with our crayon. There it is. Let's go ahead and do the same for the front. Here we go. Now you can go ahead and lower your jack and lower the vehicle back onto your jack stands. Install our brake flex hose bracket here. Don't forget, after you install this bolt here and you get the vehicle on the road, you want to go ahead and have the vehicle professionally aligned. You can take your wheel, line it up on those studs, set it in place. We want to go ahead and get all of our lug nuts started by hand. Once they're all started, we're going to go ahead and snug them down. I want to go ahead and snug these down in a crisscross pattern. We're now going to torque down our lug nuts to 103 foot-pounds. When doing this, you want to do it in a crisscross pattern. Grab your center cap. You want to line up this leg with the opening here in the wheel. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.